Commander Han stared at the glowing screen in front of him. The dark bridge of the Lazarus was quiet, except for the soft hum of machines. For 50 years, he had lived with the pain of losing Earth. For 50 years, all humans had carried that terrible sadness. Now everything had changed. The message on his screen was written in strange alien letters, but the translation was clear. Earth was not dead. Earth had never been destroyed. The galactic hegemony had lied to them all. Han's hands shook as he read the words again. His home planet was alive. All this time, while humans drifted through space like lost children, Earth had been there. The aliens had simply taken it and told everyone it was gone. "Sir," Officer Kim said softly behind him. Kim was young, born on this ship. He had never seen Earth, but he knew the stories. "The other ships are calling. They got the message too." Han nodded but could not speak yet. His throat felt tight. Around the bridge, his crew was learning the truth. Engineer Park had been fixing a broken panel, but now his tools hung loose in his hands. His eyes were wide with shock. Navigation Officer Cho was crying. Tears ran down her face as she stared at her control panel. She whispered something in Korean, words her grandmother had taught her about the home she would never see. "Captain Lee wants to talk right now," Kim continued. "The Phoenix is ready for conference. So are the Hope and the New Dawn." Han finally found his voice. "Connect them all," he said. His words came out like ice. The main screen flickered. Soon, faces appeared from the other colony ships. Captain Lee looked older than Han remembered. Captain Yoon from the Hope had grey hair now. Captain Bay from the New Dawn looked tired, but his eyes burned with something new. "You all saw it," Han said. "It was not a question." "We saw," Lee replied. 50 years of lies. "My people are asking questions," Yoon added. "They want to know what we do now." Han looked at each face on the screen. These were the leaders of humanity's survivors. They had kept their people alive in the cold darkness of space. They had built new homes on distant worlds. They had raised children who had never breathed Earth's air, all because they believed Earth was dead. "They made us refugees," Han said slowly. "They made us mourn our own world while they lived on it." "The transmission shows more," Bay said. His voice was hard. "They have been mining Earth, taking everything, our oceans, our land, our cities. They have been stealing from our world for 50 years. The bridge crew was listening now. Every person could hear the conversation. Park had put down his tools completely. Cho had stopped crying, but her face was full of anger. "There are humans still there," Lee said. "The message talks about camps, work camps." Han felt something cold grow in his chest. "Our people are still on Earth?" "Some of them. The aliens kept them to work, to mine and build and serve." The silence that followed was heavy. Han thought about the humans who had been left behind. While the lucky ones escaped to the stars, others had been trapped, made into slaves on their own world. "We have to go back," Cho said suddenly. Everyone turned to look at her. "We have to save them." "With what?" Park asked. "We have colony ships, not warships." "We have been in space for 50 years, Han said. "We have learned things, built things. We are not the same humans who left Earth." He was right. The humans who had fled Earth had been peaceful. They had believed in talking, in making friends, with aliens. They had trusted the galactic hegemony, but 50 years of exile had changed them. They had learned to be hard, to survive, to build weapons when they needed them. "I know what you are thinking," Lee said, "but we are not soldiers." "No," Han replied. "We are something else. We are the children of Earth, and we have been lied to. We have been made homeless by lies." He stood up from his chair. The other commanders watched him. "They took our world. They made us believe it was gone. They kept our people as slaves. They thought we would just disappear into the dark." His voice grew stronger. "But we did not disappear. We survived. We learned. We built new homes and new lives. And now we know the truth." The crew on the bridge was standing now too. Other faces appeared on the screen as more ships joined the call. "They made one mistake," Han continued. "They let us live. They let us grow strong in the darkness. They gave us 50 years to become something new." "What do we do?" Yoon asked. Han looked at the alien message one more time. Then he looked at his people, his crew, his fellow commanders. "We go home," he said. "We take back what is ours, and we make sure the galaxy never forgets what happens when you lie to humanity." The transmission ended, but the decision was made. Earth was calling her children home. Dr. Min was alone in his laboratory when the message came. The small device on his desk beeped once, then showed a code he had not seen for many years. His hands stopped moving over his work. His heart began to beat faster. The code meant only one thing: the truth about Earth had been found. Min looked around his laboratory. To anyone watching, he was just a scientist on Kepler 442b. He studied plants and soil. He helped make food grow on this industrial world where humans had built their new lives. But that was only part of the truth. Min walked to a wall that looked empty. He pressed his hand against it in a special pattern. The wall opened, showing a hidden room filled with screens and communication equipment. This was his real work. He activated the emergency beacon. The signal would reach across space to other humans who had been waiting, just like him. Within 1 hour, his screen lit up with incoming calls. Within 2 hours, he was connected to 17 different star systems. The faces that appeared were familiar, even though he had not seen some of them for years. "The message reached you too," said Captain Song. She looked older now, but her eyes were sharp. Behind her, Min could see the bridge of her ship, the Harmony. To most people, Song was just a merchant captain who carried goods between worlds. Min knew better. The Harmony and her sister ships looked like peaceful trading vessels, but hidden in their cargo holds were weapons that could destroy cities. Song's merchant fleet could level entire moons if needed. "We all got it," said Agent Yu. His face appeared on another part of the screen. Yu looked like any other alien bureaucrat in his neat uniform. He worked in the Hegemony's Administrative Council, processing paperwork and attending boring meetings. What the aliens did not know was that Yu had been stealing their secrets for decades. Every plan, every weakness, every fear of the Hegemony passed across his desk, and he remembered all of it. "How many of us are ready?" asked Commander Jay from another screen. She looked tired, but her voice was strong. Jay ran what the aliens thought was a simple farming colony. The official report said her people grew food and raised animals. The real truth was different. Jay's agricultural colony was one of humanity's biggest weapon factories. Hidden underground, human engineers built guns, bombs, and ships. The animals on the surface were real, but they hid the sounds of machinery below. Min activated his holographic display. Numbers and maps filled the air above his desk. The other commanders leaned forward to see. 47 installations, Min read from his data. Production facilities in 12 systems, training camps on 8 worlds, intelligence networks in every major alien government. The numbers were bigger than even Min had expected. For 50 years, while the galaxy thought humans were broken and scattered, they had been building in secret. "Look at this," Song said, sharing her own data. "We have 300 ships that look like merchants or explorers, but each one carries enough firepower for a small war. And I have agents in every level of the Hegemony," Yu added, "from janitors to generals. They tell the aliens what we want them to hear, and they tell us everything else." Commander Jay smiled for the first time in the call. "My colony alone has built enough weapons to arm 50,000 soldiers, and we have 19 other farming worlds doing the same thing." Min felt pride grow in his chest. Humans had always been good at adapting. When they were forced to leave Earth, they could have given up. Instead, they had learned to hide, to plan, to prepare. "The aliens think we are refugees," Yu said, "broken people who just want to survive. They see us crying for our lost home, and they think we are weak." "But we were never just surviving," Min said. "We were preparing." He pulled up another display. This one showed the faces of humans across the galaxy. Young and old, born on Earth or born among the stars. All of them had grown up hearing the same stories. Earth was gone. The aliens had destroyed it. Someday, maybe, humans would make the aliens pay, except now they knew Earth was not gone. The aliens had lied. And all those years of preparation suddenly had a real purpose. "We taught our children to remember," Jay said quietly. "Every human child knows the story of Earth. They know what was taken from us. And we taught them to be ready, Song added. Every human who can hold a weapon has been trained. Every human who can think has been taught to plan. Min nodded. The hegemony made one mistake. They let us live. They thought scattered humans would just fade away. Instead, we became something new. The screen showed faces from across the galaxy. Humans, who had spent 50 years pretending to be harmless. Farmers who were really soldiers. Merchants who were really spies. Scientists who were really weapons makers. We learned to think like them, you said. But we kept what makes us human. We adapt. We survive. We surprise our enemies. The network is ready, Min announced. After 50 years of sleep, we are finally awake. The call ended, but the work was just beginning. Across 17 star systems, humans began to move. The galaxy was about to learn what 50 years of lies had created. Humanity was coming home. The numbers kept growing, and even the coordinators were shocked. Every day brought new reports from across the galaxy. Humans were everywhere, and they had been busy. Engineer Bin contacted them from Vega Prime. On his screen, he looked like any other construction worker. His clothes were dirty from a day of building, but the machines behind him were not ordinary construction equipment. I have been designing terraforming tools for 30 years, Bin explained. The aliens think I help make dead planets livable, but these machines can do more than move dirt. He activated a holographic display. The machine he showed looked simple, like a giant drill, but Min understood what he was really seeing. Planetary shield crackers, Bin said with a grin. I told the aliens they help dig through hard rock. What I did not tell them is that they can punch through any defense system in the galaxy. Agent Hyun joined the call from somewhere in the hegemony's military headquarters. She wore the uniform of a high-ranking alien officer. For 30 years, she had climbed through their ranks, gaining trust and access. I control their communication. Networks now, Hyun reported. Every message, every order, every secret passes through systems I help manage. When the time comes, I can blind and deafen their entire military. But the biggest surprise came from Captain Wu. His face appeared on the screen from somewhere in the outer rim of the galaxy, where few ships ever traveled. We found them, Wu said. His voice was excited, but also careful. The other humans. The ones who got away before Earth's fake destruction. Everyone in the conference became quiet. They had all believed they were the only survivors, the only humans left in the galaxy. What do you mean? Commander Han asked. Wu's image flickered as his signal traveled across vast distances. There were humans who left Earth before the hegemony arrived. Explorers, colonists, people who just wanted to see what was out there. When Earth was supposedly destroyed, they were already gone. He shared his data with the group. Maps appeared showing the edge of the galaxy, places so far away that even the hegemony rarely went there. They have been out there for 60, 70 years, building, growing, preparing, and they are angry. The data showed colonies on worlds that were not even on most star maps. These humans had been alone for so long that they had developed their own technologies, their own ways of fighting. How many? Dr. Min asked. Millions, Wu replied. Maybe hundreds of millions. They have been breeding soldiers for 3 generations. Their children are born knowing how to fight. Agent Yu looked worried. Are they friendly to us? They are. Human, Wu said. That is what matters. They hate the aliens just as much as we do, maybe more. Commander Han pulled up his own data. If we add the Outer Rim colonies to our count, how many humans are we talking about? The answer came from multiple sources at once. Agent So, calling from deep inside the hegemony's science division, had been collecting information for years. Commander J added numbers from her networks. Captain Song provided data from her merchant. Contacts. Over 2 billion, Han said, reading the final count. 2 billion humans scattered across the galaxy. The silence that followed was heavy with meaning. For 50 years, each group of humans had thought they were alone. They had prepared for revenge, believing they were the only ones left to carry out justice. Now they knew the truth. Humanity had not just survived. It had multiplied and spread across the stars like seeds in the wind. Each group has been preparing, Agent So continued. I've been inside the Hegemony's science division for 25 years. I know every species in their alliance. I know their biology, their technology, their military tactics. She activated her own display, showing detailed files on dozens of alien species. I know how they think, how they fight, how they die. I have been documenting their weaknesses for decades. Every pressure point, every fear, every way to hurt them. Her voice became cold. We know how to kill them all. Engineer Bin nodded. And we have the tools to do it. Not just my shield crackers. Every human settlement has been building weapons. We have technologies the aliens have never seen. The outer rim colonies are the most dangerous, Captain Wu added. They have been isolated for so long that they developed their own ways of war. They fight like nothing the galaxy has ever seen. Dr. Min looked at all the faces on his screen, young and old, born on Earth or born among the stars. All of them had spent their lives preparing for this moment. The aliens made us into refugees, he said. They scattered us across the galaxy, thinking we would disappear. But humans do not disappear, Commander Han added. We adapt, we survive, we grow stronger. Agent Yun smiled from her position inside the enemy's headquarters. They created their own worst nightmare. An enemy that looks like them, thinks like them, but fights like humans. We are not the same species that left Earth, Captain Song said. 50 years of exile has changed us. We are something new. The conference ended, but the planning continued. Across the galaxy, 2 billion humans began to coordinate. The hegemony had no idea what was coming for them. Humanity had evolved, and the galaxy was about to find out what that meant. The war began at exactly the same moment across 17 different star systems. To the aliens watching their screens, it looked like random bad luck at first. A supply ship here, a communication tower there, small accidents that happen sometimes in space. But Captain Ahn knew better. She sat in the command chair of her flagship, watching the timer count down to 0. Around her 50 ships that looked like peaceful traders waited for her signal. All ships, this is Ahn, she said into her communicator. Today we stop pretending. Today we go home. The timer reached 0. 50 ships dropped out of hyperspace. At the same instant, appearing around the hegemony's biggest shipyard like ghosts suddenly becoming real, the aliens had no time to react. Ahn's ships looked like merchants, but hidden panels opened to reveal weapons that cut through alien shields, like knives through paper. The humans had spent 50 years studying alien technology, learning its weaknesses. For Earth, Ahn broadcast, on every frequency as the alien shipyard began to burn. For our stolen world, for 50 years of lies, her weapons were not alien designs copied badly. They were human innovations, built specifically to kill the creatures who had betrayed them. The shipyard's defenses, so proud and strong, fell apart in minutes. At the same time, in 17 other systems, similar attacks were happening. But not all of them used ships and guns. Agent Du sat in his office deep inside the hegemony's capital city. He looked like any other government worker, filling out forms and attending meetings. But Du had spent 30 years building a network of human agents throughout the alien government. He pressed a single button on his desk. Across the galaxy, hundreds of humans who had been hiding among the aliens began to act. The hegemony's financial networks crashed first. Computer systems that handled money for 1,000 worlds suddenly stopped working. Then transportation grids failed. Ships could not navigate. Space stations lost power. Communication arrays went silent. The aliens found themselves fighting a war on every front, with no way to talk to each other or coordinate their response. Commander Cha led a different kind of attack. Her ships were not disguised as merchants. They were assault vessels, built in the hidden factories of human colonies. Her target was not a military base or a shipyard. Her target was a prison world where humans had been kept for 50 years. Remember, she told her soldiers, as their ships approached the planet. Some of our people are down there. They have been waiting for us to come. The prison world's defenses were strong, but they were designed to keep people in, not to keep attackers out. Cha's forces broke through the orbital shields and landed on the surface. What they found made even veteran soldiers weep with anger. Thousands of humans, broken by decades of slavery and torture, looked up at their rescuers with eyes that had forgotten hope. These were the people who had been left behind when Earth was supposedly destroyed. They had been kept as workers, as experiments, as examples of what happened to species that opposed the hegemony. "You came," whispered an old woman as Char helped her to her feet. "We always believed you would come." The liberation footage spread instantly across human networks throughout the galaxy. Every human who saw it felt their anger burn hotter. Every human settlement that had been living peacefully suddenly became a fortress. The aliens had always thought of humans as harmless refugees, people who were sad about losing their home, but who would eventually accept their new place in the PAL. Galaxy. They had been wrong. Every human settlement the hegemony had relocated revealed itself to be a military base. Every human they had thought was broken turned out to be a saboteur who had been waiting for this moment. On colony worlds, human farmers put down their tools and picked up weapons. In alien cities, human workers revealed hidden arsenals. On space stations, human engineers turned their knowledge against their alien masters. The hegemony tried to respond, but their communication networks were controlled by Agent Hyun and her team. Orders went to the wrong places. Intelligence reports disappeared. Military units found themselves attacking each other by mistake. Captain Song's merchant fleet revealed its true nature as human warships struck at supply lines throughout the galaxy. Without resources, without communication, without coordination, the alien military began to fall apart. "Sir," an alien officer reported to his commander, "we are receiving surrender requests from 12 systems, but we cannot confirm if they are real or if our communication networks have been compromised." "What about our response fleets?" the commander asked. "Unknown, sir. We lost contact with all of them." The commander stared at his tactical display. Red warning lights showed attacks happening everywhere at once, but his forces seemed to be fighting ghosts. The humans struck fast and then disappeared, only to attack somewhere else. "How many humans are there?" he asked. His intelligence officer checked his reports. "We thought there were maybe 50 million scattered refugees, sir." "And now?" "Now we think there might be 2 billion of them. And they all seem to be soldiers." The war had begun, and the hegemony was already losing. They had spent 50 years believing humans were beaten. Instead, they had created an enemy unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Humanity was coming home, and nothing would stop them. The largest fleet in human history approached Earth. Admiral Na stood on the bridge of her flagship, watching the blue and green planet grow larger on the screen. Behind her stretched thousands of ships from every corner of the galaxy, where humans had hidden for 50 years. "There she is," whispered Engineer Seo beside her. His voice was full of wonder and pain. Home. Earth looked different than the old pictures. Alien cities covered the continents like metal scars. Strange towers reached into the sky where human buildings had once stood. The oceans were darker, polluted by decades of alien industry, but it was still Earth, still home. "They built their capital on our graves," Admiral Na said quietly. "They thought they were so clever. The hegemony had made Earth into the center of their government. Alien leaders lived in palaces built from the ruins of human cities. Their fleets protected the planet with shields and weapons that had never been tested against human technology. They were about to learn why that was a mistake. "All ships, this is Admiral Na," she broadcast to her fleet. "Today we take back what is ours. Agent Ryu, are you ready?" Deep inside the hegemony's command center on Earth's surface, Agent Ryu sat at his desk like any other day. He had worked there for 30 years, rising through the ranks until aliens trusted him with their most important secrets. They thought he was just another human who had accepted his place in their empire. "Ready, Admiral?" Ryu replied through his hidden communicator. "I have control of their defense systems. When you give the word, Earth's shields will fall." The battle began with a deception. Admiral Na's fleet appeared to attack from one direction, drawing the alien defenders toward them. The hegemony's ships moved to intercept, confident in their superior numbers and their planetary shields. Then Ryu pressed a button. Earth's defensive shields flickered and died. Warning sirens blared throughout the alien command centers as their protection disappeared. "Now," Admiral Na commanded. Human ships appeared from every direction. They had been hiding in the shadow of Earth's moon, behind asteroids, even inside the planet's ring of space debris. The aliens found themselves surrounded by an enemy they had thought was still fighting in distant systems. The battle for Earth lasted 3 days. Human forces struck with precision that amazed even their own commanders. Every weakness in alien technology, every flaw in their tactics, every fear that drove their species, humans had studied it all for 50 years. Captain Song's merchant fleet revealed weapons that tore through alien hulls. Commander Cha's assault troops landed on the surface and began liberating human prisoners from work camps. Engineer Bin's shield crackers punched holes in alien fortresses. On the second day, the aliens tried to destroy Earth rather than lose it. They aimed planet-killing weapons at their own capital, willing to burn the world rather than give it back to humanity. Agent Hyun, controlling their communication networks, made sure those orders never reached the weapons. Instead, she sent the alien fleets confusing commands that made them attack each other. By the third day, the alien resistance was broken. Their leaders tried to escape, but human ships waited at every hyperspace route. The hegemony that had ruled the galaxy for centuries found itself trapped on the world they had stolen. Commander Han led the first landing party to touch Earth's soil. As his boots hit the ground, he felt something he had not felt in 50 years. He was home. The dirt beneath his feet was still Earth dirt, even though alien cities rose around him. The air still smelled like home, even though it was polluted by alien industry. The gravity felt right in a way that no other world ever had. "We made it," he said into his communicator. "We are home." Across the galaxy, humans heard those words. In hidden colonies and secret bases, in alien cities where humans had lived as slaves, in the depths of space where human ships had wandered for decades, everyone heard that Earth was free. The victory broadcast went out on every frequency. Captain Ju, now appointed as Earth's new governor, stood in what had once been the alien emperor's palace. Behind her, human soldiers raised the flag of Earth. "This is Earth calling," she said, her voice reaching every corner of the galaxy. "To the hegemony and all who served them. You stole our world, you scattered our people across the stars. You told the galaxy we were dead." She paused, looking directly into the camera. "You were wrong. We are not the peaceful species you conquered 50 years ago. We are not the naive explorers who trusted you. You made us into something new, something you should fear." Her voice grew harder. "We are an enemy that will never forget your lies. We will never forgive your betrayal. And we will never stop watching you." The broadcast ended, but its message echoed throughout the galaxy. Every alien species that had served the hegemony now understood what they faced. Humanity had returned, but they were no longer the same species that had once sought peace among the stars. They had become something forged by 50 years of exile and anger. They had become a force that the galaxy would never underestimate again. Earth was home to her children once more, and the stars would remember.